Part 4 begins. Wrong, and that if it ever happens again his pay will be withheld in retaliation since Iron got charter. They don't need to stay in Port Hamlet, so she told Gray to pack up his things as they need to go to White City. By tomorrow the cat is speechless and thinks that only such an unreliable master accepts a lunatic knight as Gray. But he was happy to see Gray slowly achieve his dream the following day as Iron and Gray prepared to depart from Port Hamlet. Regular soldiers appeared in front of them. One great question why there were so many knights present, but they did not participate in the tournament. The cat responded that they were just normal soldiers and only knights were permitted to participate in the battle. The cat noticed that there is another group of thousands of people that Caspar got by contact, so he senses that horrible things are about to happen. When night comes, one soldier looks for Gray, and when Gray appears, the soldier informed him that Horace ordered him to visit Lady Iron's tent. Iron ordered Horace with all the troops to use the charter as an opportunity for them to force more lords to join their camp, and he needs Horace to spread the word as he is the only reliable person for Iron. Horace won't accept her order because he's afraid that only Gray is left on her side. If Gray has second thoughts about me, do you have the power to stop him? Iron stated, which makes Horace and Robert remain speechless. Gray arrives at Iron's tent, and when he entered these two men were staring at him, so Gray immediately asked if what's wrong. Horace suddenly held his arm and said, I'm counting on you for the safety of Lady Gray. After saying that, Horace and Abby Robert left the camp, but Gray doesn't know precisely what heroes mean to say. So he decided to ask Iron, but he doesn't know what to say. Iron feels that Gray is nervous, but Gray told her that he was not nervous, he just doesn't know what to do. To put it simply, you just have to stand there and knock down anyone who tried to attack me, Iron said, and because of that Gray understand everything. Iron feels odd since Gray refused to take off his helmet and didn't know the knight, so she started to think that Gray is not a human. What are you talking about? Of course I'm a knight, born and raised in this country, Prey said while his eyes are flickering drastically. They are both talking in the tent about Gray's identity while the cat is listening to them, and he suddenly noticed someone from above. Iron informed Gray that she was not doubting. From the moment you pledged your allegiance to me, you have been my knight. I will pay for who you are and make sure you don't get abused for it all, Iron said, causing Gray to shed tears because of happiness, and he promised Iron that he will be loyal no matter what. After that, Iron said to Gray that he should be ready since it was almost time to welcome the guest. Gray was puzzled, and suddenly someone entered into Iron's tent. The Ravens are a group of assassins based in the southern part of the Kingdom of Isaac. As long as they're willing to pay, they will execute anyone, right from the royalty down to the old and weak. Among the Ravens, an assassin named Spectre is the most fearsome. Other assassins take money for their work, but Spectre is a monster assassinated for fun. Now his target is the woman with white hair and blue eyes, which is Iron. Berbera Gray immediately throws the sword at Spectre because he remembered that Iron told him he needs to knock down anyone who tries to attack the young lady. After seeing it, Iron told Gray that swords are not supposed to be thrown. Gray covers Iron, and he believes that Spectre has an assassination intent comparable to the Great Lich. Spectre attacked Gray with fast speed, and he thought that he has been cut Gray into pieces. When he pulled his sword, he then saw that it has been broken. Gray teased him as he thought that Gray will be over. Gray slaps Spectre and throws at the corner while they are fighting. Iron doesn't know what was going on. What she saw as Spectre was the one who broke his own sword in the first move and proudly swung the broken blade a dozen times, and also thought that Gray didn't notice it. She thinks that both of them have gone crazy since she doesn't understand what was going on with both Spectre and Gray. She just ordered Gray to throw Spectre outside the tent. Gray suddenly asked Iron if she already know that this assassin is coming. Iron answered that they usually come to her once every 3 days, and they might come many times now that Horace and others are not with her. Gray then realizes that it's more worse than the times he was being hunted in the underground. While Gray throws the assassin outside the tent, he told Iron that he didn't know the situation of Iron and only knew that Iron can make him a knight. Iron explained everything to Gray. She said it was all about money and power, simply because many people wanted her to disappear from this world. It all began without any complications 2 months ago. The Grand Duke of the Better House passed away unexpectedly after his death. The Grand Duke in his will specified that his only daughter Iron would inherit his title and property, but at that moment an illegitimate son named Jones suddenly appeared. Although the Grand Duke has an illegitimate son, according to the law, an illegitimate son had no right to inheritance. The problem was that the illegitimate son was brought out by the king. The king had the right to grant the illegitimate son the legal right of succession, and because the illegitimate son was a boy, even with the will of the Grand Duke, he was entitled to the inheritance instead of Iron. This was an obvious conspiracy. The king wanted to take over the Better family's territory in a bloodless manner. Some of the people feared the king's authority and therefore did not dare to help, even though they knew the truth. Others, seeing the benefits, tried to help the feudal lords to take advantage of the situation. In short, from the day she lost her father, there were many people who wanted the year-old girl to disappear as soon as possible, so assassination became a common affair for her. The next day, Lady Iron together with Gray returned to the capital of the Duchy of Betcher, the White City. Someone ordered the guards to welcome Iron and opened the gate. She Shelley, a young lady with blonde hair and blue eyes, and was happy seeing Iron return safely. Shelley also heard that Iron met a very brave knight during her trip to Port Hamlet. When they entered the town, people gossip after seeing the legendary Silver Moon Knight, which is Gray. The cat asked Gray if he understand what Lady Iron told him, but Gray didn't understand any of it. The only thing he knows is he must defeat the king or else he will lose the knighthood he earned. When Gray looked around, he was happy. After seeing the people cheering for him, he started to like the place because it's very lively and he feels the feeling of being alive. Iron acknowledges what Gray said and agreed that a white city is a lively place. That's why she has to guard this place to keep it alive. Iron offers Gray that she will prepare new armor for Gray and Tenito, so she asked Gray if he had any specific requirements for. According to Iron, Gray is now considered an important member of the Better family, so his attire should be dignified. Since Gray doesn't know much about it, she just told Iron that anything will do. Aside from that, Iron informed Gray of one more thing. Once they settled in, she will invite all the nobles of the city to a ball to let them know that she returned alive with her troops and horses. Therefore, Gray should attend the ball with Iron since Gray is her guardian. Knight Iron told him to be prepared, and Gray was puzzled because it was his first time. While they are discussing, Gray was not aware that there's someone spotted him from above and knew that he was a Lich. Her name is Catherine. Angel with white hair and blue eyes. In accordance with the Greystone agreement they signed with the Liches before it mutilates humans, they should observe the situation and refrain from taking action against it. When the night comes, Gray is observing with his new armor, and he was very glad and thankful for Iron for being a superb lord. The cat reminded Gray about the ball, but Gray doesn't know anything about it, so the cat told him that it was a party where everyone got together and danced. And what is dancing? Gray questioned. The cat showed him a sample of dance and Gray followed his steps. He then concludes that it was like some kind of mystical ritual. While they are practicing, someone knocked on the door, so Gray immediately wears his armor and opens the door. The maid introduced herself to Gray and informed him that Lady Iron is waiting for him. The maid guides his way to the lady, and when they arrived, Gray was surprised by Iron's look, but because of the jewels he imagines himself wearing it since it has a gorgeous fabric. Lady Iron asked Gray if he was ready, and Gray confidently answered yes. Iron extended her hand to Gray and told him they'll go downstairs, but Gray was puzzled and wondered why Iron isn't leaving yet. If she said that they need to go downstairs, the cat hit him in the head and informed him that.
That's it for today. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.